humbled to have a great conservative constitutionalist like you on Team Ward, because you're exactly right. John McCain says one thing in Arizona and does completely the opposite once he's in D.C. He's there right now. He's one of the people that voted to table Mike Lee's amendment to give the federal government, carte blanche inside our communities to change the makeup of our good communities in this country. And
I want to be clear about this, Kelli Ward.
Yes?
He voted today against the Mike Lee amendment, which would have put an end to HUD's efforts and its war against the suburbs. He voted against that amendment today. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He voted to table it. He wanted to table that amendment.
Mm-hmm. And so he votes for the phony one to pretend that he actually did something.
Well, that's pretty much his modus operandi at this point. Look what he did just last week with drafting women into the military, sweeping public policy, social engineering supported by liberal groups and radical feminists without one shred of debate on the floor, let alone from the public. Again and again and again, John McCain betrays conservatives, betrays Republicans, and helps push progressive liberal policies down the throats of the United States citizens.
So here we're talking about the housing rule. Here we're talking about women being forced to register for the Selective Service, our daughters and our sisters, and in some cases mothers. And also the trifecta, he has been a complete disaster all these decades on immigration that affects states like Arizona the most.
Oh, yeah, you are so right, Mark. Remember, 6 years ago, the commercial he made walking along the border saying, "Build the dang fence." He got conservatives to believe that that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to secure the border. But what does he do when he gets to Washington? He goes straight to the Gang of Eight amnesty bill. And that has been appalling, and that is a huge problem for John McCain. He was censured in 2014 by the Republican Party in Arizona. Now, if I were an elected official and I were censured by the very people who put me in office, don't you think the best course of action would be to look at your actions and see what you were doing wrong? Talk to the people who put you there. But no, he is doubling down on progressive policies that are bad for Arizona and bad for the United States. Nearly 40 years in Washington is way too long for anyone. It's time for a change. If we want to change Washington, we have got to change the people we send there. And people are looking to Dr. Kelli Ward to be able to do that. They can join me at KelliWard.com. Mark, Kelli with an I, because I care about the people, and I will be a conservative champion for AZ, not for DC.
Now, Kelli Ward, tell everybody a little bit about your background.
Sure. In a nutshell, I am a military wife. I'm the mom of 3 awesome kids. I'm a family physician. I work in the emergency department in rural Arizona. I actually work. And I am a former Arizona state senator who was extremely effective. I was able to pass, 19 bills the last time I was in office last year. Those bills were designed to shrink the size of government, to lower taxes, to take the heavy hand of government off the heads of small businesses so they could thrive. I did welfare reform, education reform, and healthcare reform. Common sense legislation that was good for the state of Arizona. I want to take that common sense to Washington, D.C. and make it work for all of us.
You know, you are in the realm of a Goldwater, Arizona's son.
Yeah.
You remind me of that from your philosophy, your energy, your straightforward approach, and so forth and so on. Tell the country about your campaign. How's it developing? Because you're up against, it's David versus Goliath here. And he's raised a ton of money.
Yes, it is truly a David and Goliath battle. But remember, Mark, that David won that one, and we can too. The poll came out just yesterday, an independent poll.
I should say Kelli versus Goliath. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes, exactly. But in this poll, McCain and I head-to-head matchup, 41-41. So it is definitely a winnable race. But I need people to get on board to donate to my campaign because he does have tentacles into every possible pipeline for political funding. That is for sure. So I need we the people to stand up and help me do it. You can do it right up online at KelliWard.com securely and make a difference. And don't feel like any amount is too low. $1 helps, $5 helps, $10 buys 4 yard signs. 4 yard signs translates into about 40 votes. I need every single one of those votes to be able to change Washington and change the status quo and shake up Washington, D.C.
Well, we will post your link on our sites, and people can support you. And let me ask you this. Mitch McConnell, he's really loaded up this National Republican Senatorial Committee with millions and millions and millions of dollars. He's trying to protect all of his buddies. Is he working on the McCain campaign too?
Hey, Mark, I am sure that he is. I've heard from people that are actually on my staff that the NRSC is reaching out, trying to find other jobs for them across this country and other campaigns if they'll just only leave Kelli Ward's campaign.
Dirty tricks.
Oh, yeah. Back in October, they put out a directive that if anyone dared to help a non-incumbent, if they joined an insurgent campaign, they were going to blackball them from the NRSC book of business. I think that the people of the great United States are tired of those shenanigans. They're tired of insider baseball. They're tired of the GOP establishment. And unfortunately, John McCain is the poster boy for inside the Beltway politics. It's time for him to go. It's time for us to make a change. And I'm ready to be that agent of that change.
It's interesting. He's already talking about how difficult the general election will be. So he's looking past the primary. He's pretty cocky, isn't he?
Well, he does that sort of. On the other hand, he has his minions, the Arizona Grassroot Action Act, which has nothing to do with the Grassroots, out attacking me on the top.
Wait, is that what they call it?
Yes, isn't that funny? And
it is. It's hilarious.
Yeah, of donors from mainly inside the Beltway, but one of the biggest donors is a couple out of San Francisco that also is a big Obama donor. Seems strange to me that they want to keep John McCain there. However, I don't think the people want John McCain to be there. And so we're working very, very hard to combat those things. So he's out attacking, but his actual campaign, friends of John McCain, has attack ads out on me as well on the internet, on Facebook, on Twitter. The funny thing is that most of the comments are anti-John McCain and pro-Kelli Ward. And so they don't have too many comments because they remove them quickly once they pop up.
When is the primary?
The primary is August 30th. Now, we in Arizona do have about a month of early voting. So come the end of July, we're going to be beating the pavement in this hot Arizona desert sun to get our voters to the polls. I will tell you, our voters are so excited to go to the polls to help Senator McCain retire. I don't think his voters are quite as excited, and really, I haven't met one. Even as I travel all over the state, I haven't met a McCain voter that wasn't a paid staffer yet.
Yeah, turnout's going to be crucial in a primary, isn't it?
Oh, yes, and we are the top of the ticket in that August election. And so we've got...
So wait a minute, your name is ahead of McCain's on the list, on the ballot?
Well, it rotates here. So it rotates. There's not one person at the top, but the U.S. Senate race is up top.
Of course, he has massive name ID going on lib media all over the place, so that's going to be another battle.
Oh, yes, but you also have to remember that we could lose that seat to John McCain if he's the Republican nominee. In a head-to-head matchup with the Democrat challenger, he's at 42-42 with her because people are so frustrated with him. So we've got to have the right person down ballot, the right Republican to beat Ann Kirkpatrick, and that right Republican is Kelli Ward, hands down.
I thought the Republican Party was reaching out to minorities and women.
Well, there are a lot of party leaders that are at the precinct level, at the legislative district level, and at the county level who are reaching out to me in particular. But the national party and state party, it hasn't been so much. I mean, I think they're trying to remain as neutral as possible. But you would think that if they had I think I'm a pretty good candidate. I'm a clean candidate. I'm a person who has a great conservative voting record. I'm a physician. I'm a principled problem solver. I'm somebody that could actually get into Washington and take a sharp right turn and get us on the right path. I think they would be reaching out to people like that rather than trying to keep old, stale people who have been there for decades and decades and decades, like Thad Cochran down in Mississippi, who I'm not sure what we're getting from him, but I'm sure that it's probably the same thing that we're going to get from 6 more years of John McCain.
Let's see. I don't think I have any more questions. Oh, I do. I have one more question, which is this.
Sure.
When you're looking at this poll that says you and McCain are even, is this an open primary?
It is so. semi-open in Arizona. So independents and people who have a party not designated label, so they haven't chosen a party, are able to choose a ballot, Republican or Democrat, and vote in that primary process. The good news is that the majority of independents in Arizona that vote are disgruntled conservatives. And so, the conservative vote I want, because they are people that want people like me to be in Washington, being their voice, speaking up loudly and effectively for them. They understand that I'm a competent, qualified, capable person, ready to take the reins and hit the ground running in Washington. And so I look forward to serving the people of Arizona and doing a great job for this country.
Well, we wish you the best. We'll have you back, Kelli Ward. Go in there. Just keep battling away. You don't need me to tell you that. You're full of energy, and that's a great thing. So we will. What is your website again?
Hey, Mark. Thank you so much. It's KelliWard.com. Kelli with an I. I care about the people. I'll be a conservative champion. And if people can go in there and give me 10, 20 bucks, it's going to go a long, long way to defeating John McCain and changing Washington, D.C.
And by the way, Kelli Ward, John McCain's welcome on this show, too, but he won't come on. But he's certainly welcome to come on. I just want to make that clear. All right, my friend. Good luck to you. Take care.
Thanks, Mark. Have a great day.
All right. You too. We'll be right back.